There is only one happy ending in Night City, and it belongs to Adam Smasher. While everyone else is fighting for love, identity, or survival, Smasher is doing exactly what the city rewards: violence without hesitation. That's why the most hated monster in Cyberpunk may also be its most successful one. And to understand why he's the only one who actually won, we need to see what he was before he became nothing but chrome. Adam Smasher was born in the South Bronx, New York. Son of an American father and a Russian mother, he grew up in an environment where violence wasn't the exception, it was protocol. But here's what separates his origin from any other tragic character in the Cyberpunk universe. He isn't the product of a tragedy you can sympathize with. He didn't lose anyone important. He didn't have a dream being destroyed by the corporate machine. He wasn't poor and trying to climb up. He simply liked violence. He was good at it, and he discovered early on that it was a service people paid well for. His empathy stat in the original Cyberpunk 2020 TTRPG, the tabletop game that created this universe in the 90s, is listed as "yeah, right." It's not a number, it's a joke. The system's creators simply decided that trying to quantify Smasher's empathy was a pointless exercise. He joined the US Army, left due to insubordination. Apparently, even the Army thought he was too much. He returned to New York as a mercenary. Assassinations, extractions, demolitions. Any dirty job that came his way, and he started getting famous for the same reason that should have ended his career. He demanded as a contractual condition that any mission include collateral damage and unnecessary civilian casualties, not for strategy, for pleasure. Arasaka noticed, not in spite of his psychopathy, because of it. During the mission for the corporation, Smasher took an RPG blast that left almost nothing human intact. Arasaka arrived before death did and made him an offer: plug or chrome. Pull the plug on life support, or become a full conversion cyborg, total body replacement, keeping only enough neural tissue to remain operational. Anyone else would have cried about becoming less human. Smasher accepted without hesitation, because in his logic, human was never a category he respected. The deal included a 15-year service contract for Arasaka. Smasher signed, and he became 96% chrome. What most people don't realize about this transaction, he didn't lose anything he valued. The only thing Smasher wanted was the ability to kill more efficiently, and Arasaka just delivered exactly that, with military-grade hardware and corporate funding. It's not a pact with the devil if you and the devil want the same thing. In the following years, Smasher built a rivalry with Morgan Blackhand, at the time considered the best solo in Night City, one of the few humans who came close to his level in combat. The philosophical difference between the two defined what each represented. Blackhand believed human skill could still overcome pure chrome. Smasher thought that was pathetic. The Fourth Corporate War, between 2021 and 2023, was where Smasher proved his point to the entire Cyberpunk universe at once. The war culminated in an operation at Arasaka Tower in Night City. Johnny Silverhand, the rocker boy, the rebel, the face of the resistance against the corporations, organized an attack with the intention of freeing Alt Cunningham's consciousness trapped in Arasaka's system. Alt was the woman he loved, kidnapped by the corporation years earlier and turned into data, into a tool, into Arasaka property. It was the kind of suicide mission that looks good in song lyrics, but works poorly in practice, and Johnny knew it. He went anyway. Smasher was there, waiting, with the body Arasaka had built specifically for situations like this. When Johnny moved in to buy time for the rest of the team, Smasher opened fire with APDS rounds, armor-piercing ammunition designed to punch through heavy plating. He cut Johnny Silverhand in half. It wasn't an epic battle of equals. It was an execution with such an absurd power gap that the TTRPG narrative itself records it with the line, "Johnny's dead, baby. Johnny's dead." No ceremony. No memorable duel, just the coldness of a task completed. A bomb exploded in the tower right after. Smasher survived. Arasaka recovered what was left and replaced with the explosion damaged with more chrome. He walked out of the biggest battle of the corporate war more intact than he walked in. What Arasaka did next is revealing about how the corporation saw him. They didn't prosecute him as a hero. They didn't celebrate him. They didn't give him a symbolic promotion. They just kept paying the contracts and sending the next targets. And Smasher was happy with that. It's a perfectly functional business relationship when neither side has illusions about what the other is. Here is the detail that changes everything when you stop to think about the timeline. Johnny Silverhand was trapped as an engram on a chip for 50 years. 50 years as digital data. No body, no agency, depending on whoever carried that chip for anything. David Martinez grew up, became an edgerunner, rose meteorically, lost everything, and died at 18, 19 years old inside a corporate facility that processed him as a security threat. V, the game's protagonist, spends the entire time running against their own biological clock, trying to survive something that most of the endings don't fully resolve.
And Adam Smasher, between 2023 and 2076, just hung around, running missions, serving Arasaka, killing whoever they told him to kill. No existential crisis, no trauma piling up, no ticking clock of cyberpsychosis, because Mike Pondsmith, creator of the Cyberpunk universe, confirmed that Smasher is technically a cyberpsycho, just in such a stable state of constant violence that he channeled the entire collapse into function. The monster didn't break, the monster was always like this. In 2076, Arasaka sent him to contain David Martinez, not because David was a real threat to the corporation. It was a standard suppression operation. Arasaka sent Smasher to kill a teenager with incipient cyberpsychosis, the same way you send tech support to fix a broken printer. There was no emotional urgency in it. There was a protocol.
The confrontation was brutally uneven from the very first second. Rebecca, one of the most beloved characters in the whole series, the smallest of the crew, the most stubborn, died when Smasher simply landed on her, the weight of his chassis against her human body. No combat, no chance, just physics. Smasher then told David, while taking him apart piece by piece, that he could have become an interesting construct, a compliment. Perhaps the greatest one Smasher was capable of giving, acknowledging that the other had the potential to become a machine too. That if David had made different choices, if he had given up his humanity earlier, he could have arrived at something similar to Smasher. David didn't answer, not because he was out of words, because he was thinking of Lucy blasting off. Smasher shot him point blank, and then he left, went back to Arasaka, followed the schedule. He even took a second contract related to the same case to recover David's jacket for an Arasaka executive, treating the legacy of the guy he just killed like one more line on the work calendar.
Then we get to 2077. Cyberpunk 2077, 50-some years after killing Johnny Silverhand. 1 year after killing David Martinez, Smasher is there at Arasaka Tower, acting as Yorinobu Arasaka's personal security. No signs of wear and tear, no accumulated consequences, no cyberpsychosis eroding what remained of his sanity. More chrome, more missions, the same total absence of anything resembling suffering. Here, the narrative offers something the script needs to be honest about. V can kill Smasher. In certain paths of the game, the final encounter happens and V manages to destroy him. That is canon within the game's possibilities. It's not a glitch, it's not headcanon, it's one of the story routes. But that is exactly the point. He can be killed after 60 years of winning, after killing two of the most beloved characters in the entire franchise, after surviving an entire corporate war, a microfusion bomb, decades of operations that killed absolutely everyone around him. V needed a specific build, extreme personal motivation, a very particular chain of circumstances, and even then, most of the game's endings don't end with a clean victory. They end with V dying of something else, running or disappearing. Smasher didn't lose the 60-year game. He found eventually someone who also had nothing left to lose. Adam died doing what he loved, destroying, warring. That is different from defeat. It's just nature taking its course. Everyone dies, but how many get to die doing what they love? What Night City rewards, when you look at his entire trajectory, isn't skill, it's the absence of humanity. David wanted something beyond himself. Lucy, the moon, a better place. And that desire was what the Dark Beast used to destroy him from the inside before Smasher arrived from the outside. Johnny wanted freedom, revolution,
Alt Cunningham, everything he couldn't protect and was stuck carrying for decades like a digital ghost. V wants to survive, wants identity, wants not to disappear. These are human goals. Night City taxes human goals with compound interest. Smasher didn't want anything that Night City could take away. He wanted violence. The city is made of violence. He wasn't trying to survive the environment. He was part of the environment's structure, which is why he lived for so long. It's like trying to charge a toll to a road. The road doesn't pay a toll. It is the road. There is no David Smasher. There is no version of him that would have had the same outcome if he had dreamed of something better. The formula is this: you keep enough humanity to have something to lose, and Night City will find that something and collect, without mercy, without exception, regardless of the size of the Sandevistan you installed. Smasher had nothing to lose, because he had nothing but the instinct to kill. And the corporate system of Night City, deep down, is just an instinct to kill with capital and infrastructure. They are compatible by nature, two predators who discovered they are the same species. The second season of Edgerunners is coming, with new characters: Weak Kingsley, Roman, Talia, D. The showrunner warned that there will be sadness. He literally posted that when the project was confirmed. Night City lives, and while it lives, it needs an operator, someone to do the dirty work that keeps the gears turning, someone who won't have an identity crisis in the middle of a mission, won't fall in love with the target, won't hesitate because they remembered who they left behind. The second season will introduce characters with dreams, with trauma, with motivations you will recognize as human, and the Cyberpunk universe, built by Mike Pondsmith, will do exactly what it always does with that. It will collect with interest. Somewhere in Night City, in the infrastructure that supports all of that, there is a 96% chrome cyborg waiting for the next contract. No anxiety, no biological clock, no interrupted dream. Just the next name on the list. Comment below, do you think there's another way to win Night City without giving up everything that makes you human? Or did Smasher discover the only truth the city has to offer? I'm out.